As you can imagine, Gold Star Mother is a title Kathleen Belanger says she never wanted. A Gold Star Mother, of course, is a woman who's lost a son or daughter while they served in the U.S. military. Her son, Army Sergeant Greg Belanger, had just turned 24 when he was killed in Iraq in August 2003. Greg was engaged and planning to finish college when he came home. Connecting Point correspondent Carolee McGrath spoke with Kathleen Belanger about her son's sacrifice for our freedom and to help us all remember the true meaning of Memorial Day.
Growing up, he was a typical kid. He did skiing, he did four-wheeling, skimboarding. He loved camping. He was a real man's man. He learned what volunteerism was from his family, between myself as an EMT for the town of Deerfield and through his father with the Deerfield Fire Department.
Were you surprised when he wanted to be in the Army?
Well, a little bit, but it's in the family. I was here when the recruiter came. You know, there was no indication that there was war looming on the horizon. If I had any insight back then, I would have talked him out of it. But, you know, we were at peace. And, oh gosh, he was so handsome in that uniform. What can I say? You know, definitely a head turner. That morning of 9/11, I was home. Absolutely beautiful day. I will never forget it. Phone rings, and it's Greg. He goes, "Hey, what do you think?" I said, "Think about what, Greg?" I was like, he goes, "Mom, turn the television on." And as I turned the television on, the second plane hit the Second World Trade Building. A very dark, forbearing cloud came over me, and I knew. I said, "You're going to be activated. You're going to be deployed." I knew it. Shortly after the first of the year, I get a phone call. This voice says, "Belanger there?" I said, "Greg Belanger?" I said, "No, this is his mom. He's not here. Can I take a message?" And this voice said to me, "Yes, ma'am. Tell Belanger we're on alert." So I got a hold of him. I said, "Some guy called and said you're on alert." Of course, Greg was always like, "Oh, it's okay. I'll take care of it." You know, he knew, but he didn't want to tell me because he knew that I was not going to be happy. And shortly thereafter, came home and told me that they were getting deployed to Iraq. I was at work. Again, it was another beautiful day. I had entered a contest at work and I had won a prize, and so I got called down after lunch by our unit manager. The officer walked in. At that time I was working at the Buckley nursing home. And the moment the gentleman walked in, I guess everyone that saw him, they knew. They knew without anything being said, because officers just don't walk into the nursing home. When he said Kathleen, which is my real name, but everybody's called me Kathy, I knew I was in trouble. And then now everything starts going slow motion and the words are coming at me. And I remember very vividly taking my hand and covering my mouth, going like this. I've been told by others, I don't remember doing this, that I screamed. And he kept telling me that it was very bad. And I said to him through very gritted teeth, "I don't care how bad it was, you bring him home." And they did.
I'm sure you never wanted to be a Gold Star mom.
You know, to be honest with you, I never knew about the title of a Gold Star mother until the night of the wake. the officer that came to help, guide us through the whole process, came up to me and presented me with my pin. And he said, well, now you're a Gold Star mother. And I think I just kind of shook my head. And it wasn't until much later on that I personally did research to find out the history behind it. At that point, I wasn't in a mental capacity. Okay, I'm a Gold Star mom. All right. At that point, it meant nothing to me.
How helpful has it been to meet the other Gold Star moms in the area?
Well, just a little while ago, I went to my first Gold Star Mother weekend and I got to meet a variety of women from all over. And I could see that their emotions were still very raw. And it didn't take much to get them to be tearful. And I remembered at one point during one of our conversations, I said, in time, that will get better. And I said, but don't ever apologize for having tears. That's part of the deal,
Now, when you think about, or when many people think about Memorial Day, they think about it as a kickoff to summer. What's your message to the rest of us about how important this day is?
This day is very important. I don't have a problem with them using that day to remember to go put flowers upon their family's grave. I understand that. They lost a loved one, just like I did. But take an extra flower. There's plenty of veterans from Civil War, World War I, II, Vietnam, Desert Storm. Be respectful. Decorate a grave. And take a moment and say, thank you.